of you as doctors are already on social media? Nice. How many of you as doctors are creating content that is purely medical? Nice. بلشين صح. How many of you are interacting with your patients and talking with your patients already through social? Okay, good. Alright, so this is me again. I'm Cynthia. So today we're going to tell you a little about why is social media so important, how can you win on social, what are the cheat sheets that you can have that will impact your performance, and Cynthia is going to take us through everything that is TikTok, how can you win on TikTok and be successful and create more talkability about you and your brand and your vision, and where do you need to start. So before we get into the details of things, I just want you all to remember a time, not so long ago, where social media became such a hit for the medical field. And I think that the first incident that comes to mind, I'm going to say it, please tell me if you all agree, is COVID, right? Okay, so beforehand, doctors would share very minimal on social and would allow people to research more. When COVID hit, it opened a whole different landscape for people to actually ask questions, to answer from a medical perspective, and they would spread sometimes misinformation. And this is where you, as a doctor, are responsible for talking about this information or correcting it, because you know better, right? So why would random users spread random rumors about something that you know more of? So this is a great example to show you the impact of social media and how today people are more aware and people are conversational with you and they are asking more questions. So just to look around, we live in the social universe, as weird as that sounds. We are all cookies. So we exist everywhere on social. And first of all, WhatsApp. Obviously, everyone has WhatsApp. It's the best way for you to communicate with people around you, not only professionally, but personally. Another one is LinkedIn, where you are more of the professional kind of persona. TikTok, which is the closer persona, somewhere where you can, share more of your personality, who you are, how you talk. YouTube for long format, whenever you're explaining something, whenever you need more time for the person to, engage with you. We have Snapchat as well. We have Twitter, that is now X, Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest. And I know that most of you right now are probably on LinkedIn for professional reasons, obviously. You are on TikTok because it's very fun, but you also can follow trends more likely. You also can read about something faster, right? Instead of going on Google and Googling it, you can just place it on TikTok as a hashtag and have an engaging video where someone's explaining it for you. We're all on Instagram for slash professional, also personal, showing a bit of who we are, besides just, us being doctors. You're also human, you have a family, you want to portray that as well, which is something very nice, as well as Facebook. So this is just to help you understand that every single platform serves for a different objective, right? So one of the things that's really important for patients whenever they choose you as their doctor is to feel like they are comfortable, right? To feel like they want your opinion, not just professionally, but they also want to come to you with a problem and find trust in you that you can give them the solution. That's why having social media platforms or being on social media is so crucial for you to attain this trust, right? So, why should you be on social as a medical professional? What are the benefits? The first one is the responsibility that you have to address information. So it's a tool for you to share information about something, to talk about your opinion on a certain matter that's being talked about online, to debate healthcare subjects, and this is something that we see a lot of from a trend perspective. Talk about healthy behaviors. How can someone be more healthy? How can someone take care of their skin? How can someone, avoid allergies? And basically to educate audiences more and more about your field. An interesting example I want to give you here is a trend. I want to call it a trend because that's how audience see it. And what's interesting is that people have been talking about this online, and I'm sure that every and each one of you has heard about this. But what's interesting is that doctors from different fields have been answering it because it's something that us as consumers don't know about. And this is the weight loss factor that Hollywood thankfully got for us, which is the diabetes injections. I'm sure you all heard about this. It's causing a really big controversy. But then you have dermatologists that are talking about the elasticity of the skin and how it affects it. You have doctors that are talking about what are the supplements that you would need to take. You have doctors just spreading more and more awareness that this is something wrong or something good in their personal perspective. You have dietitians talking about the impact that it will have on your nutrition. So this is a trend that was born from social media. But how do audiences know if it's something right or wrong? Because a lot of people don't know which doctor to go to. So now doctors are using social media to address this whole topic and to answer and say, hey, this is what science has to say. So before you do something for your, for a superficial need maybe, understand why you are doing this. So social media helps connect science to people. What are the benefits that as a doctor you will actually have? One, you're building your brand, and this is something that I'm sure you see from other big brands as well, is that this is why we use social. We want people to know who we are. We want people to understand what we do and how we do it. So building your brand is more about your persona. It's about how you are conveying the message. It's about what you are actually saying. It's about consistency. It's about tone of voice. It's about the topics you try to answer. Another thing is fostering partnerships. So what do we mean? Hospitals and clinic nowadays care about you being really social savvy, because the first thing that audiences or that patients do is they go search this doctor on social before they go, so that one, they understand who is this doctor, who am I going to see, and two, they understand who is this person that's going to give me a solution. What do their other solutions look like? So they go to your profile as like a portfolio to understand, and that builds trust, right? So when, for example, as a dermatologist, if I go into a dermatologist's pages and I see that, oh, okay, they've cured acne so well, it makes me feel closer to this doctor. So when I go, I can tell them, hey, I saw this picture that you posted, and this is something that I'm also dealing with. So hospitals and clinics are looking for doctors that are already on social and that can help boost their bigger mission as well. Another thing is organizations and causes. This is where it can get a bit personal. A lot of doctors are sharing the causes that they believe in with audiences, bringing them closer to them. So for example, people with eczema. You have a lot of doctors that speak about this as a cause. They're bringing more awareness to it. They're talking about, how you can know if you have it, connecting you with a wider community that is going through something similar. So it helps you kind of bring this awareness to audiences, even if it's a subject that they have not personally experienced. So Gen Z, which is the younger generation, are everywhere. I one. Two, they are more savvy, so they know more. I have my 13-year-old cousin asking me, what's hyaluronic acid? I didn't even about the importance of hyaluronic acid. She's listening to doctors saying, you want your face to look big, or now people are apparently using hyaluronic acid on their lips to make it bigger. This is what you should do. But this is a 13-year-old kid. How would she know, right? So Gen Z are on TikTok as a search engine. So our generation used to Google everything. This generation TikToks everything. And then they start looking at the views, and then they start looking at the comments, and they look at what audiences are talking about. So 74% of Gen Zs are using TikTok over Google. That's a really, really large number. Because they want to see video formats. Because they want their answers fast. They want their answers straight to the point. And they just want someone to give them a relatable answer. They don't want to go through links and links and links of answers. They want it right there and then. Also, something that's really important is, great, you're now on social media, you're using your channels, you're talking to people, but it's really important for you to understand where is your audience. So if some of you post some videos and are thinking, okay, I'm not reaching the right people are not, engaging with me, why? They are somewhere in this whole social universe. So most of them are sharing their own experience with a product, with a doctor sometimes. They're sharing, their personal experience with a certain topic. They are supporting a health-related cause. They are commenting about their updates. So a lot of people, for example, especially in the Arab world, they wait for a big influencer to talk about a product or an experience, and then they share their own in the comments. So this is also something engaging. A way you can, join part of this conversation is to actually create content that answers what they're asking about. So when you see a trend, or when you see a lot of videos about people talking about vitamin B5, you can create a video to talk about this, and you can answer people in the comments and say, hey, this is how you could use this. If you see someone having misinformation, this is where your responsibility as a healthcare professional comes in. So understanding where your patients are is also really important, or else you're talking to no one. So if you're creating content and you're saying something that people don't relate to, then maybe it's a good start for you to stop and say, okay, the people, what are they looking for? What are they searching about? Is there something trendy that they're talking about that I can, join this conversation? So this would be a good place also for us to start. How can you win on social, and how can you create impactful content? So, first of all, having a presence on social depends on these 5 things. One, and what is the most important, is consistency. You have to be consistent. So if you post one video every month, that's not really consistent. You have to be consistent so people can understand you, so they can see you, so that you can be relatable. So do you post once a month? You post once? Okay. Anjad, what happened? Okay, we'll give you some tips on this, on how to create this. But consistency is so important. Yani, you're saying that you are witnessing a drop in your views because you're not as consistent, right? It's the same as if you don't show up to family events, friend events, not family, they could never forget you. But friends will start forgetting you, right? Because you're not coming, they're not seeing you. This is the same thing in social media. It's a universe. You have to be there. You have to show them that you are there. You have to, if you can post 2 times per week, that's great. If you can, keep up the consistency, not just in the posting, but in what you are saying. So planning your content is super important. So 1, it has to be factual and accurate. You have an advantage over anyone else on social media. You have knowledge. These people that are watching you don't. So whatever you're saying is coming from a scientific perspective. It's coming from a non-debatable perspective. So that's why whatever you have to say, you have to avoid having a doctor say, replying, for example, to the video and saying, that's not true. It is true, you know your facts. 2 is to be engaging and friendly, because people think of doctors as someone very serious, someone that doesn't joke, someone that's really scientific, that's really, takes themselves too seriously. But smile while you're taking the video, it creates this effect that, or it brings someone closer to you on a psychological level. They feel closer to you. They feel like your energy is inviting them to hear what you have to say. So being friendly is very important. Being informative and educational. So whenever you're speaking about a certain topic, maybe it would help to bring up a scientific fact about it to give audiences this aha moment, right? So that they feel like you're giving them something new. Another thing is compliant with all relevant rules and education and regulations. And this is something we saw a lot in COVID, because every time anyone would feel like posting a certain opinion, they would write WHO said. And at this point, we don't know if they did or not, right? Who's gonna go do this research? No one. But some people were debating this. So being factual and understanding that whatever you're saying can be searched online in case someone has trust issues and they can still find it. Another thing is about consistency. So a lot of doctors usually ask, for example, how can I stay consistent? I have such a busy schedule, right? Probably this is what's happening with you. So our suggestion is plan your content. Spend your free time during breaks looking at other content. Why should you look at other content? Because one, it inspires you. Two, it shows you what the conversation is about, what are people saying, where is the talkability. And then just in your notes, you can write, okay, I want to do a video about hyaluronic acid, another video about skin elasticity, a third video about this, that, and then book a time in your calendar where you are doing nothing but filming content. And I know that a lot of you are scared sometimes of filming content because it feels like the editing and I don't know, what if I don't know how to do this? It's not my field, I don't have the time for this. This is completely normal. Cynthia is going to take you a little through that aspect, but planning your content whenever, or on your phone app, you can just, any idea you have, just write it on your apps. Like your note apps, right? This video is going to be about this video is going to be about this. You film it in the weekend, come Monday, khalas, all you have to do is just click post. Another good thing is to answer comments, right? So this is called community management, which is talking to your community. If someone is asking you something, you can answer. If you have a wider team, you can ask your assistant or someone also in the medical field to assist you with this if your goal is to grow on social, because users want consistency, not just in the posting, but also in the engagement when you're talking to them. Some examples. So, educating and sharing valuable content. So, another good example is to create series. So, series or playlists, as we call them, you can see them on TikTok, for example, are something like summer playlist, getting ready for summer. And under this umbrella or topic, you have a bunch of different videos. How to get ready for summer when you are traveling, here's the hack on how you can pack your skincare, or me as a dermatologist, this is how I pack my skincare. How you can avoid the sun, or how you can do, everything is talking about your field, but it's under one theme, right? So creating a playlist will help you plan your content, creating a playlist will help you visualize what is it that you want to talk about, and it's educational as well. Another thing is to listen to relevant conversations. So what do we mean by relevant conversations? What are people talking about? Hence, every time you have 10 minutes, try to go on TikTok. Try to just scroll and see what are people talking about.
This one.
This one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'll give you an example. This video, yeah.
The information is.
Sorry? This is wrong information.
Yes.
So that's an example.
This is a great example. Thank you so much for sharing this. So see, when someone is posting a video, we mean no offense to them, obviously, they did a good job in this video, but this is something that is opening a conversation. You as a doctor can actually create another video and not to offend them, obviously, but to correct the misinformation, right? Because you know that it's wrong, maybe they don't. for example. But this video, why did we put this as an example? Because this video talks about basically hyaluronic acid هو في عامل a huge boom in the world. But these are two pharmacists actually that are saying, okay, you're talking about hyaluronic acid, this is the conversation. How can we help you? Let's tell you what you can buy. What's the difference? What is it made from? So they just listened to the conversation already existing online and they just created a video to cater to this. What happens when you do this? One, everyone that will search hyaluronic acid, it's a big conversation, they will find your video. So you are joining an already made conversation. So there's more attention coming to you. Another one is trend setting. And we see this a lot because TikTok is a fun platform, right? People want to laugh, people want to feel closer to you. So this is a great example of when there was the Met Gala, which is an event in New York and all of the celebrities go to. So all we see is gowns and all we see is, this glamour. So this doctor said, okay, if the dermatologist went, what would they wear? So she showed to be fun, she showed to be very close to the people, and she also showed to be taking part of this conversation, telling her audience, I know what you're into, I'm into it as well. Because as doctors, we only see you in the white robe. I'd like to see a doctor dressed like this and taking themselves, seriously, but also approachable. So you can take part of any trend that happens, when done creatively and when done within the norms. So I'm going to hand over to Cynthia now. But if anyone has any
thought, it's not that important anymore. So I downgraded it personally in my skincare routine. Okay, I said who here is on social media? I'm going to make the question a bit more difficult. Who here is actually on TikTok? Okay, I'm going to take names and we'll see with you what we're going to do about it at the end of the session. Then, let's start with TikTok 101 and an overview of our agenda for today. We're going to give you an overview of what is TikTok from a platform standpoint, from how to use it standpoint. And then we're going to show you how to level up your content. What are top performing contents within your industry on TikTok? We're also going to talk about the importance of hashtag use to be able to target the right communities. And we're going to end it with an exciting part. So stay tuned, listen well, and you're going to be tested in the end. Each team is going to create a video that we're probably going to project and try to see which was the best performing one. Okay? Okay, perfect. So whoever is not on TikTok probably has heard of TikTok, and our growth has been exploded actually ever since COVID. We're proud to have reached 1 billion active users last year. We target 27 languages across the world and have reached 150 countries and regions. A lot of people will come and tell me that TikTok is similar, it's a social media platform. I'd like to stop here and tell you that TikTok is not a social media platform. That's because of the power of our algorithm and what TikTok stands for. We are an entertainment platform. We're powered by the community. And why is that? When you're on TikTok, you will not be served content necessarily by people you follow. And personally, I don't even know who I'm following. I don't care about that. I am being served content based on what I consume, what I engage with, what I like, what I comment on. The algorithm is super strong and picks up immediately and will start serving you more and more content based on what you like and you should have. So this is very similar to Netflix. تعرفوا في Netflix when you watch like one مسلسل فجأة بيصير كل the recommendations are مسلسلات. So it's very similar on TikTok. Now you come and tell me, great, it's entertainment. شو خص doctors with entertainment? And this is where TikTok has evolved so much in the last 5 years. Yes, it was about dancing, about lip syncing, only Gen Zers were there. Now, the majority of our audience is actually between 24 to 35-year-olds. So really the prime target group, guys, of most of your patients. And what's really interesting for you guys is to coin the right balance between education and entertainment. So now we're here to serve educational video talking about the ins and outs of the science. No, بالعكس. It's about breaking down science in a very digestible and snackable way that anyone on TikTok can understand. So if I'm going to think of education, a lot of popular themes that we have are busting myths. So مثلا, let's say, انتوا كلكم تفكروا انه eating and then swimming right afterward is bad. Let me tell you why this is wrong. أو أنت مثلا keep it hyaluronic acid ما المفروض ينحط على بشرة مرطبة. Then you can come and say, this is what all of you think. Let me tell you why this is not true. This is very catchy. It's catchy. People will be attracted to your content. This is also important for you guys. Aya was mentioning the importance of why to show up on social media as doctors. This opens up your world to a whole new audience and potentially to collaborate with companies for you to become their ambassadors. So that's something also to keep in mind when you want to show up on the platform. From an entertaining standpoint, it has to be relatable, concise, so not super long, and really show up with a personality. Are you the doctor that is the top expert that has a serious tone? Or لا, you're the doctor that is the friend or the neighbor next door هيعطيك نصايح على WhatsApp and a voice note. So really kind of have to think, pause, and what type of personality do you want to have on TikTok? Okay, for those, most of you that don't have TikTok, this is going to be very useful. There are parts that TikTok is divided into. The main, most exciting part is the For You page. So on the For You page, this is when you open the app, this is where endless videos are showing as you swipe. Okay? And the content that you're being served is based on what you liked, what you searched for, what you commented on. So this is really where it's endless entertainment for you. There's another tab, which is the Friends tab, that I personally never use because I'm not on TikTok to check what my friends are doing. I'm on TikTok to check what my interests are and what am I going to learn or get to know more about. Fun fact, by the way, and I stopped going to the dermatologist. TikTok has become my dermatologist. I shouldn't be saying this, but yes. Okay. On TikTok also, you're not just consuming content, it has empowered people to create content in such an easy way. And there's no easier way to create content than on TikTok. We want you to show up in the most basic way ever. In your clinic, wearing your white coat. Very basic. To come as you are and reach out to people in the same natural way you talk to your patients. So we do have editing tools on TikTok itself where you can shoot the video, you can choose the duration, so 15, 60 seconds, 3 minutes. You choose the duration that you want and you start shooting on the app itself. If you're not comfortable with that, you can always shoot videos on your phone camera and then upload these videos later on and edit them in an easy way. You have an inbox. This is where you can engage with your patients or potential patients that want to ask you questions. And then you have your own profile, where your identity should be quite obvious or should have, ideally, a certain style to it. Okay, this is where we get into the technicalities and what is on the TikTok screen when you open it. This is how to show you how to actually create the content. What you do is you click on the plus button, and this will allow you to create a post. It opens automatically in a camera format, and you can either choose existing videos at the bottom in the little square that you've shot before, or shoot immediately from the camera. It's so easy and basic. There are tools for you to flip the camera, to increase or decrease the speed of the video, add filters, enhance the lighting, add a timer. Everything is basic tools for you to create videos that we're going to show you and have you get inspired from. Okay, as I mentioned before, we have two main sections when you open the page. It's either the For You page, which is where I spend most of my time on, or people that you're following. When you are engaging on TikTok and you're a viewer and not a creator, there are different buttons that you can use. So as content hopefully creators very, very soon, you need to be maximizing your likes, your comments, your saves, and your shares. And this opens up the page, what I was saying, you need to serve content and videos that people are interested in. إذا بتحكوا عن topic that ما حدا باله فيه and it's not that important or it's like way too scientific, then maybe this is not the right way to start. You always need to think of your video as a 1 minute long video approximately where you have a hook. So you need to hook a person within the first 2 seconds where people will swipe, and then you have your body where you're talking about everything that you need, And in the end, I always ask you to think of an action that you're asking for people to do. Are you asking people to, I don't know, follow your page? Are you asking people to ask you more questions about the topic? This is how you need to think of your structure of a video. Some key rules and golden rules that we have for posting. أكيد, for those that don't know, we need a vertical format. It can never be a square or a rectangle like YouTube. It has to be a full screen, and this is the beauty of TikTok. I mean, people, when they're on TikTok, they're not on any other screen. Now, it's so engaging in the format, and also the power of sound of TikTok is very, very important. And this is something that you need to use to your advantage. Nobody watches TikTok without the sound, but the experience is really not there. So it's for you to do a vertical format and also think of sound. It would be amazing to spend some time on TikTok, do your homework, and try to see what are the tools that you can use. Either video format. We have something that we're going to talk about, which is the slideshow format. You don't necessarily need to post videos all the time. You can post images and the story with a slideshow. So you don't have an excuse if you're going to tell me that I'm not camera ready or anything. I mentioned also that consistency is very, very important. And I don't want this number to scare you, where posting 3 to 5 times a week will scare you off. Honestly, if you start with once a week with content that is very good, that's already amazing. It's very important to interact. Once you've posted, you want to be really there to engage, to share, to comment. The video length. Lately, TikTok, I hope all of you know, is the leading platform for short form video. كنا بنعرف إنه short form usually it's 15, 30 seconds, but TikTok is favoring more and more videos that are 1 minute plus long. إذا رح نحكي 1 minute ما نقول شيء that has consistency ما له. So choose videos that are 1 minute long, but where you're sharing engaging content and people entertained. It's also important, TikTok is very forgiving. Even if you post a video and it didn't do that well, it doesn't matter. Even if people didn't like it, it doesn't matter. You can always use this as a learning so that you can tweak your content later on. Okay, something very important, maybe that you wouldn't think of when you are creating content. That a lot of videos on TikTok, it's the actual video, but then there's text on it. There's especially for doctors, and there's a lot of information that can be given. Always make sure that when you're shooting within this little safe area. Okay, and they don't shoot and have your text under the heart or under the comment bubble, or the text, مثلا, at the bottom where most of your caption is going to be. So that's something to really keep in mind. And I'll ask the team if we can share with you. There's a tool, there's a link that you can use where you upload your video, and then it will show you if you are within the safe zone or not. So that's something you can to play around with at the beginning, and then trust me, you'll know how to get by with this. Perfect. So now what is TikTok, what it exactly stands for, how to use it, how to consume, and how to create content. Let us look at the best performing formats, specifically in your field. One of the top ones are tutorials. People are hungry to know more about whatever field you guys are covering. So if I'm going to think of skincare and a dermatologist, people want to know how to use a specific product and actually show a specific demonstration of how to use it. So that's important. People are looking for informative content. And people are very thirsty for education on TikTok. So if you want to cover topics with the hook at the beginning, that's your room to come and share your expertise with others. Another campaign format that I really like, it's called the green screen. So إذا عندكم أنتم مثلا you don't want to shoot yourself talking the entire time, there's a trick that we can also teach you on. To include either images or videos that can either talk against or have them as fillers in your video. وآخر شيء, I'm going to go back to you made the mistake of saying that the comment is wrong for the hyaluronic acid. You can actually come back with a video and say, I've seen a lot of videos on TikTok that say that hyaluronic acid should be used on damp skin. Well, this is not the case. Let me tell you why. Okay, so this is a popular format to come and interact with existing content. Top features, I mentioned that before. TikTok is going towards longer video durations, so 1 minute plus. I don't know if you're familiar with CapCut. It's a video editing tool. And for the next step, I'd say let's start with TikTok first. As a next step, for those that already know how to create content on TikTok, I really invite you to download CapCut. It's an app also owned by the mother company of TikTok, and it's so easy to use and to help you edit your videos, or maybe you want to add TOEFL subtitles or auto caption. It helps you add all of these tools in an easy way. Photo mode, Kamin will talk about it in a bit, and point of interest. When we're thinking of long video, this is sort of a cheat sheet for you to look at, for you to go into creating your video. So before, if you're going to use music, it's important to know that you cannot use, if you are a professional account, and you would ideally want your video to get, I don't know, boosted and to become an ad, not all music is available for you to use on a commercial level. So make sure that there is a filter where you can write commercial music. It will show you the music that is allowed for commercial use. Does your video have a story? If you're gonna go up there just to talk about, I don't know, a random day without the structure of a hook, a body, and an action at the end, then probably your video is not gonna do as well. Test your sound and camera, just to make sure. A lot of times, for example, when you're filming and then you're done filming, you realize that there was a sound of AC that was blasting on your voice, and there's echo in your sound. So that's something important. It's very, very important, Kevin, to think of your storyline and sort of what is the text you want to add on your videos. And these are effects that are very popular on TikTok that I invite you to use. During, so when you're starting your video, always start with a question. دايما start with a question. بعدين, people love tips and lists. This is something to consider. After, something very important, always add your location. If you have a clinic or you're working at a hospital, it's also important to add your location. It will boost your video to be more discoverable on the algorithm. وهلا كمان add hashtags, we're going to talk about it in a bit. Photo mode, as I said, you don't necessarily need to post a video on TikTok. You can actually post a whole post using photos only. You can select up to 35 photos and write text on each one of them, or even talk over the photos to tell a story. It's very important, as I said, if you're working at a clinic or in a hospital, always tag the location. It will boost your video discoverability better. It will boost your video to people that are interested in this hospital, that have been to this hospital, so more and more people will know about your content.
استخدام الأسئلة المعاصرة يمكن بطريقة لا جراحية جسور الفيديو أو بطريقة جراحية للراحة النفسية. بطريقة ديزاين أكثر بكثير من التشخيص والحفظ الأسئلة الصحية من الحياة.
Okay, so I wanted to talk. Let us show you examples within each specialization within healthcare of the top performing videos that we have. You saw the dental one. Let us show you an example of nutrition.
عايز تزود وزن تشرب ايه؟ عايز تقلل وزن تشرب ايه؟ يا مش بيخلينا حاجه انا هقول على حاجه لو انتوا عايزين تشربوا حاجه وتاخدوا كويس صحيه ساعتها اقول لكم ان انتوا اول حاجه لازم تزودوا فوق معلقه صغيره مش الاثنين معاك.
Okay, I'm not showing the whole video for the sake of time, but as you can see, the videos from the beginning, both of them have a hook, and there's a text or even someone talking and hooking the person watching within the first 2 seconds. And by the way, Dr. Lutfi Mana, we're very happy to have him as one of our top content creators on TikTok. I invite you to go and check his profile to get inspired and to see what type of content works well on TikTok. Now we're ready for dermatologists.
أي خطوة في الصناعة تأكيد نهاية سورية تكليف أو تسوية تكون خلالية سواء شركة غالي بخلطة من المحلات أو أونلاين أو حتى بالعيادات. حط بالك من الاهتمام كبير جدا بما فوق فيها كانت السنتين ولد. هذا الفيديو أكثر بحياة المواطن.
Okay. And the last one for general medical.
سلسلة علامات خطيرة وجودها جسمك لا تنتهي أبدا. الوقت السادس فقدان القدرة على التركيز والنسيان شيء متكرر جدا والتعب والإرهاق في جسمك والشعور بألم في الأطراف في اضطراب في اضافه اعراض الدم الفيزيولوجيه من التسارع في نقطه القلب والنوم القوي جدا. هذا
Okay, I'm sure you notice that the commonalities are, most of them are facing the camera in the front, it's an up-close angle, people are adding text or images to support whatever they're saying. This will keep people tuned to whatever your video is trying to say. Another way come in is to really be on TikTok and try to see what are organic trends. People love to bust myths. So now something that was trending on TikTok is how people are using antibiotics for viral infections. And this is like an inspiring video that was done. Okay, so this personality, like for example, this doctor wanted to be funny and relatable. He didn't want to show up in a very scientific way, but he still drove the message through in his own way. Okay, one thing that is very important is the use of hashtag in your content. A lot of people will use random hashtags like explore, or hashtag for you page. We don't recommend doing this. Think of 4 or 5 hashtags that are based on your theme. So if you're talking about skincare, you can write hashtag skincare, hashtag hyaluronic acid, or think of 4 that are very much in line with whatever you're saying. حتى إذا your format is tips and tricks, you can lean into our popular hashtags on TikTok that are within your industry. So hashtag learn on TikTok, أو زيادة بالعربي. If you're trying to target the Arabic audience, it's very important to put both the Arabic, if your video is in Arabic, I would recommend to put the Arabic hashtag. Tips and tricks, healthy living, info bursts. Okay, we're at the last part, number 1.
I'm very happy to be here today. I'm an enthusiast for digitization in medicine, so I feel that this is one of the perfect places I can be. So I'm just waiting for my slides to come up and we can start. Thank you. So today I'm going to talk to you about my thoughts about being on social media as a dermatologist. And I'll share a little bit about my personal journey. But firstly, I would like to thank the speakers, Aya and Cynthia, because they covered wonderful parts that I'm sure a lot of us have benefited from. So this is, as you know, a sponsored talk by Bayer, but I am sharing my personal experience. So my name is Khadija Jifri. I'm a dermatologist. I see patients every day, so this is the main part of what I do. But I also have interest in digitization in general, and in 2021 we published this book about how to be a digital doctor. Social media only took a few pages at the end as a small chapter, so this is more about telemedicine and things like that. So it's just to tell you that I am an enthusiast for digitization because I see that it is coming. It is coming anyway. So we either ride the wave, take responsibility for our field, and be the authority and the leaders to tell people whether to put hyaluronic acid on damp skin or not, although it's debatable in my view. But yeah, we should take pride and responsibility for our field. There's no point sitting and saying نظر يعني بلغتي about what other people are talking about on any topic if you're not going to give your opinion. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the legal aspect of it. If you're thinking of going anywhere near social media and you're a doctor, check about the documents and the standardization or the standards of practice and guidelines about social media in the country that you are practicing. And the second thing is to take patients' written consent for photos, even if you are going to show part of their face, not all their face. Make sure you have written consent, that they have signed a piece of paper to say that it's okay for you to show their photos, because they can change their minds, you know. And secondly, to mention in this consent that the photo can go on your platform and the word beyond, because you have, once you put it on social media, you have no control where these photos are going to be. Someone else might choose your video and do a commentary, post on it, or whatever. So make sure that you do that. So I guess there's no need to convert the converted. I guess you're all here because you want to be on social media. But my opinion, and and I saw the show of hands of how many of you are on social media. But if you ask me whether you should be on social media or not, my answer is 100% you should be on social media. And I'm going to tell you why. There's this concept of social media evolution. I've seen a lot of people, when I said that 100% you should be on social media, were rolling their eyes because they believe otherwise, and that's also okay. If you're on social media and have 1 million followers or 200,000 followers or whatever, does not mean that you are a more ethical doctor or a more valuable doctor or a better doctor than someone who has 3,000 followers. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about it's a way of you to show people that you exist, representation. Social media has evolved so much in the last, not even 10 years. It's different from what it was like 5 years ago. And before, people knew about things in life, which restaurant to go to, how to treat this, which new destination is the destination to go on holiday. So people knew these things. What we talk about is finding information. Where did people find their information before? Yellow pages, ads, word of mouth. Now it's just social media. Even you, if you want to go to a restaurant, the first thing that you do, you go on the social media page of that restaurant to check what it's like, what people wear when they go there, what's the vibe, what is the best dish, and your patients will do the same. So social media is a place for you, if you don't want to use it for any other reason, is for your CV, your presence, to show people who you are, because before they come and see you, especially if you work in a private clinic, they want to see who they're going to speak to. So you don't really need to have a detailed strategy of what you're going to do when you're on social media, but you need to have a purpose. You need to think about how you want to represent yourself, and this is what I found. You need to think, I just want to use my social media so that people can see who they're going to see when they see when they see me in clinic, and know a little bit about me, that I'm a consultant, I've had masters, this is what I treat, this is what I do, my clinic looks like this is the location of my clinic. So this is just representation of who you are. Or maybe you want to use it for self-promotion, so basically to bring attracting patients in, to increase the number of your patients, and to show your patients or your audience what you do. I do fillers, I do Botox, I don't do fillers and Botox. Don't come to me if this is what you want, because I'm only a clinical dermatologist and that's basically me. I'm very good at treating eczema, I'm good at treating psoriasis, and so on. You can use it to educate the public, so only educational platform, that's all you want to do. You want to bust myths. I want to tell people that a lot of the information out there is incorrect, and I'm the authority, and I feel that I have a responsibility to deliver to the community that I live in. And the nice thing about educating people is that your voice goes way beyond your clinic. So say if you're giving information to, say you see 30 patients a day, if you are good at delivering information and you have 100,000 followers around the world, then you're educating people across the globe, and that's actually fantastic. The other thing is to educate colleagues. Before, the expertise or the voices of experts in a specific or subspecialty used to be through, of course, they're doing what they're doing for a long time, they're assigned as a professor by the university, etc. These days we see self-assigned expertise. So if someone decides, I want to educate my colleagues, let's say, or mostly here dermatologists, I think we have also allergists, let's say dermatopathology. I'm going to educate everybody on dermatopathology. You are the next generation's expert on dermatopathology, because for 5 years or 10 years, the students and the junior doctors have learned about dermatopathology through your page or through what you are doing. So you can position yourself amongst your colleagues and amongst people in a certain way. So I think this is also a good way. Finally, and I'm not shy to talk about this, is income generation. I'm not just talking about sponsorships, I'm talking about which you should be very careful about if you like to go down that route. And I think if we're going to talk about this, it should be another 20-minute presentation. So I'm not going to touch on that a lot, but through affiliate marketing and through other ways. So as doctors, you're spending time on content creation. valuable time. You have studied at least 12 years to be the specialists and the consultants that you are today. Your time is valuable, and it is okay to look at social media as income generation if this is what you want to do. So I'm just going to give you very quick examples. This doctor, Simon Orian, a lot of you will know him. He has been on social media for 10 years, and he mainly uses it for self-promotion. Everybody knows who he is. This doctor, Dr. Munib Shah, has 1 million followers on Instagram. These are Instagram pages, and mainly I'm talking about Instagram and my journey on Instagram in this talk. So he mainly does education. He has around 18 million followers across social media platforms, so you can understand the magnitude of education that he is doing if you compare it to education on in his clinic only. Some people use it to educate public and promote services, like Dr. Mariam Baqi, who is a wonderful doctor. And this guy, especially what I was just telling you about positioning himself as an educator to colleagues on dermatopathology, this guy is doing that. Another doctor who just helps colleagues with exams. Some people do it for monetization purposes only, but through education, this is what she chose to do. Of course, she has to be careful, but this is her choice, and it's an avenue that she can go down. So, what consideration should you have to achieve your goal? I encourage you to look at other accounts who you think have similar goals as you, for inspiration, for ideas, to look at their mistakes, but never, in my opinion, try not to copy other people's style, and try to bring your style and your way of doing things in clinic, the way you speak, into your social media platform to keep consistent and to keep authentic. Think about the audience that you want to appeal to. So if, for example, you want to use your platform for education only, it doesn't matter how you deliver your information, because your information should be applicable to majority of people. However, if you're using your platform to bring patients in and for self-promotion, then you need to think about that your demographic is going to be, for example, for me, people in Dubai. So, for example, if I'm going to do a paid boost or something like that, I should choose that demographic. I should tag my location because I'm trying to bring patients into me. And also, you need to add that. For your content to be engaging and to be interesting and people to want to watch your videos, you need to put yourself in the audience shoes. So you need to add something to them. So don't focus so much on, oh my God, how do I look? Of course, technicality, your voice has to be clear, your video has to be good, etc. But you need to see that the content that you're creating is adding value to the person who is watching you. And be consistent in posting. So around 3 times a week I think is okay. Visit your metrics and see what worked and why it worked. What you feel is working might not be what is actually working. And I'll give you an example from my page. So you can see I don't have so many followers, but for some reason this video attracted almost 2 million views. And I didn't spend much time in doing it, and I didn't think that it would do that, and I wasn't so sure why. And then I looked at my TikTok account, and I saw that something had happened. Can you hear me? Just one. I looked at the TikTok, and I saw that my most viewed video had 4.4, and both of them had a common thing that I was talking about celebrities. So I'm not saying that this is what you should do, but I'm just saying that it's good to visit what did well, why did it do well. And I noticed, and I also heard that the best metric to assess your engagement, what do you think the best metric to assess your engagement is? How long people spend watching your video. So the videos that are being boosted up there's no we find all these videos saying, oh, I know all the tricks, how to, it's usually view time. If more than 50% of the viewers watch more than 50% of your video, then overall you know that you're doing about, so the views don't drop. And this is what happened here basically. Another thing that I have noticed is the followers and non-followers. I want non-followers to be viewing my video as much as the followers or even more, because that tells me that my videos are getting traction from other people, not just my community, that I'm reaching to people. So this is a good way to look at how you're viewing. So let's talk about my personal journey. So this is my page, and I resisted being on social media for so long. I started posting consistently in April 2023, so not that long ago. And the reason why is exactly what I said to you at the beginning, that I was sitting there and not liking what other people are saying and pointing fingers to others and saying, oh, this is not correct and this is not correct. And then I can't remember if it was my husband or my sister looked at me and was like, stop complaining and stop judging others. They're talking about their own experience. This is not a clinic. This is, social media is basically, the idea about social media is people, accessibility. People have access and people have a voice to say their opinion. This is your opinion. If you feel that you want to correct information, then do it yourself. So in April 2023, I decided to post consistently and decided that my goals to begin with are going to be to educate and to bust myths. And I focused on reels. I posted 3 to 4 times a week, and I had minimal stories and photos, mainly it was reels. In 7 months, I grew to 33K, and then I stopped around October when the unfortunate events started happening in Gaza. Went back to posting consistently in February and grew further 5K. So I have, looking at what I'm doing, I have no growth whatsoever in the number of patients who are visiting me in clinic, and that goes alongside what I'm saying, that my, someone is questioning something. Opportunities for collaboration with brands increased by 20%. So not that much, because that's not what I'm focused on. And the journey continues. So people talk about influencers, content creators, etc. And I feel that we should be content educators, basically. This is a more appropriate term for us, because this is what we want to do, or at least what I think we should want to do. And your the content that you're producing should be unique to you. You can take inspiration from others for sure, because you're guided by the community that you're in. If people are talking about certain topics, etc., you will be inspired by it. What I do is I take my content or the ideas behind it from my practice and my patients. If I see an interesting patient, someone asks me an interesting question, then I usually will write it and talk about it. And you need to engage your followers as well, and be careful of trending topics as a doctor. You can address them, but be careful of how you address them. If you don't know much about the trending topic, please don't just go on and talk about it unless you have scientific background or scientific, so it's in papers, etc. Or you have personal experience, because your personal experience as a doctor, not as a consumer, your personal experience from clinic as a doctor is more valuable than a consumer's single experience. And you should declare that. From my experience as a doctor, this is my opinion, or from the scientific evidence, this is the information. So this is what I do. If I get patients that I feel their cases are interesting, if they ask me an interesting question, if I even get comments that I feel are, I'm going to do a post about it. If I see a video that I like, that I feel that it has inspired me, I use an iPhone, I open my notes, and I write it down. And this is an example of what it looks like, basically. And an example of it is this. This is a photographer, it has nothing to do with medicine, but I like the fact that he used 3 photographs in this vertical way, and I did the same on a post about eye eczema. And I'm a paper and a pen girl. So I have my Moleskine book, and this is what I do. I write the points that I want, and before I actually film, I have, a snippet. I don't have proper script, if you like, but at least a few words about what I want to say. So I film once a month only. I film for 3 to 4 hours. Someone helps me with editing, with the content creation, of course, the ideas, even how which aids I'm going to use in terms of photos, etc. I do that in advance as I have showed you. Someone helps me with times per week, and currently I'm hosting Friday, Sunday, and Tuesday between 4 and 7. How are we doing for time? I think I should. So the main issue that I've had is patient consent. So these two specific videos, although the patient consented verbally, they were very nice in the clinic, they were very, accommodating, and they were like, yeah, please post it, and their faces was not, their full face was not on the post itself, but they changed their minds, and they called afterwards, they called the clinic, and they, please put the video down, I'm not happy about it, we didn't discuss this long enough. So always have written consent. I'm just going to fly over this. So which platform should I be on? As the speakers before me have already covered this, but each platform serves a different type of audience. So entertainment, because Instagram is more information, hashtags, captions, people's feelings on it. YouTube is long, so someone could watch a YouTube video for an hour, 40 minutes, and cook with the person who is, giving them the video. So you need to decide which one you want to be on. But in my opinion, if you have to focus on one or be on all, I would say focus on one for 80%, especially as doctors we are busy, but you can also be on all 20% of the time. So how can you do that? The majority of these platforms accept and prioritize short videos, so short videos win. So create your short videos for the platform that you are intending to be on and focusing on 80%. In my case, it is Instagram. But I have a TikTok account that I'll put these videos on. Maybe I'm not going to do as well, or because I'm not tailoring my videos for that, but I can still be on these three platforms with minimal effort. Short videos, as we said, please tell the audience what you want in the first 2 to 3 seconds, not even 3 to 5. They don't want to hear at the beginning who you are or whatever, just what the video is going to be about in the first 30 seconds. Make sure that you're adding value to people. The people you're serving is not yourself, is your audience. So think about what your audience wants, how you can add value to them. Be truthful and keep your values as a doctor. At the end of the day, we are doctors. And we talked about this already, so the algorithm will push your video and more people are watching it. And in terms of hashtags, make your hashtags, it's not as important as before, and be findable on Instagram. So write things like by dermatologist, where you are, the name of your clinic, and if you are looking to attract people, then hashtag these people in your video. I think people are looking at these videos. This is examples of how to engage with others. And I just finally wanted to say that iPhone is okay, front lighting, and mic has to be of high quality, and